to the 52 Scott Podcast for another episode of Black Friday. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome, fellas, to another Black Friday episode. Earlier this year, man, when Trump took office, fellas, one of the first things he did, one of the first executive orders that was signed was dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we had a couple of shows where we talked about DEI and the impact that it would have, throughout this term. Well, one of the things that happened since DEI was implemented was a boycott was started, and this was started by Dr. Jamal Bryant, who's a New Birth Cathedral pastor in Georgia. Now, his reasoning for doing so was because back when George Floyd was killed, Target came out and made an announcement that they were going to invest $2 billion into black businesses. But once Trump implemented his DIE policies, Target they backstepped and ended up within 2 days of Trump threatening legal actions against businesses that didn't implement the new DEI policies, Target announced that it was ending its racial equity action and change initiatives, which pretty much is going against what they said they were going to do originally, after George Floyd had passed. So with this going on, Dr. Bryant felt that we needed to do something about it. So he started this boycott. It was a 40-day boycott, which he named several major retailers, Walmart, McDonald's, Amazon, and several others, that he wanted us to boycott. And, we felt that hitting them in the pocket was going to make a big difference. And the boycott actually started on March 5th, and it was expected to last to the 17th of April. Well, the boycott actually has been extremely successful. Let me back up. Again, one of the things that they were asking for was for the executives for these companies to revisit their diversity and equity and inclusion policies, and they wanted them to partner up with black farmers and vendors that would be able to make investments in the black community. So again, when Target backed out of what their initial statement was in regards to investing $2 billion, this is where the boycott came into fruition, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I guess I fucked that up, but anyway, the boycott, man, it was very effective, and I was happy to hear this. According to Forbes, several retailers, including Walmart and Amazon, saw a slight dip in their web traffic. But Target was the hardest one hit. Now, Target actually was the major focus on this boycott. Reason being is because this is where their headquarters is located in Minnesota, and this is where George Floyd was killed, demised. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to focus on Target. Well, Target's web traffic was down 10.9%, which it affected about 3.5 million users, and that I believe, if I want to say, the executive of the CEO of Target also lost like $12 million in the boycott. So it's been very effective, and I was just wondering if you guys could think of any other ways that could be effective in to offset these DEI policies, because they have impacted a lot, once they first came into existence. People have lost their jobs. Like I say, it's been a variety of things that have occurred, but these boycotts have definitely been successful, and there are future boycotts being planned. If I'm not mistaken, Dollar General will be the next big corporation that Dr. Bryant is asking us to boycott. And we all know there's a Dollar General in every hood, damn near on every block.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of Dollar Generals been closing.
And they're one of the ones on the list that are
now
closing.
They got those new Dollar Generals.
Uh-huh.
Dollar General something. They have the Dollar Generals, and then they got some kind of. I mean, they got one by where I'm at. They closed the Dollar General down,
but it's another dollar.
Yeah, but it's a different. It's the same company, but it's branded differently. I can't think of what the initial letters are behind it, but it's a different type of Dollar General.
Do you guys even remember the boycotts when they were going on?
I do, and actually, me and my wife, we boycotted Walmart.
Walmart was one?
Yeah, Walmart is on the list.
Yeah.
Walmart, Amazon,
and
McDonald's.
And Target is not one of my stores anyway. So.
Yeah, Target wasn't nothing. It's too expensive. But Target, I've been seeing news about how much money they're losing because of this DEI.
Well, you got to think about this too. How many black products do you think in Target?
How many what?
Black-owned products are in there. It's probably not many.
Not many at all.
You know.
And that's the thing, you know. Again, after George Floyd incident occurred, Target reached out and made the statement that they were going to, invest $2 billion, but backdoored and ended up
when Trump, because they knew they was about to lose money, I think, and then now this tariff thing affects them also.
That's going to increase prices in these stores, which is not going to help, with the boycotting that's going on.
They won't be able to purchase as many products under that tax tariff.
Yep.
And they're gonna have to pass some of that cost down to the consumer.
Right.
And so we're gonna be boycotting by default because can't afford to go in there and buy no.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You guys have any other ideas on what could be effective besides boycotting? That we could possibly do.
Man, money talks.
Yeah,
when you take
that's a spot. You hit them in the pocket.
You hit them in the pockets, man. Not supporting them or buying their products, that open anybody's eyes. Be like, well, wait a minute, hold on, let me back up, because now we losing. I'm telling you, because Target keeps losing. If they keep losing, they'll make a change.
And I think with the numbers the way they're showing, I mean, if folks are paying attention, we've stressed this in on past shows how we're what are we in numbers? When we're I can't think of this.
Strength in numbers.
We're strength in numbers.
I almost got it too. I say a force to be reckoned with. Strength in numbers.
We're strength in numbers.
I didn't know where he was going.
and it's showing that by boycotting that it's being effective. So if we can get on board, more people get on board, we may be able to get this turned around.
Here's the thing, though. When you say we, are you speaking of we as the American people, or are you speaking of we as blacks?
American people.
I'm saying we as a culture, blacks. Okay. But I'm sure we have other cultures that are joining in on this boycott. But the point I'm trying to make is us blacks are if we come together in large numbers, we can really make a difference. It's not just. I'm not just saying that it's reserved for only blacks, to boycott these companies, but he's mainly focusing on blacks boycotting these companies, major companies, because they're not supporting the black communities or the black farmers. Mm-hmm. Did that answer your question, Freddie G?
Yeah.
Did you have any other follow-up question?
Well, not so much as a follow. Well, so think about Target, right? How many people shop at Target? Black people.
Right.
Few.
I do know a few, and they I would say they some special blacks.
Yeah, I go there once every 5 years.
Okay, and the reason why is because I'm trying to see. Okay, did the black dollar actually cripple, for lack of better words, Target
during the boycott?
Yeah, was it the black dollar, or was it others that included?
They said that I want to, and don't quote me on this, but I'm just gonna say that I saw something that once the boycott went on, because black people weren't spending, they lost millions of dollars within the first month of a boycott. Target did. Mm-hmm. And Walmart lost X amount. I don't know what theirs was, but I know Target's was $1 million plus.
Yeah,
within the first month.
So I will say this: it's not like back in the day where you had a lot of, what's the word I want to use? the people of the lighter hue that were against us. Today, there's a lot that are with us. So
a lot of what?
A lot of people of the lighter hue, white people, so
gotcha.
that are with us. I know this is Black Friday, but some of them will, and I've seen them even doing the Black Lives Matter movement. A lot of white people were in that. So there are some that will boycott for us on our behalf. So not only are they losing the black dollar, they are losing those whites that are supporting us. So they're losing money in both ways, So again, keep stabbing at that money, and them stores closing. Once you see them stores closing, eventually they're gonna be like, man, you know what? Last year it wasn't like this. Let's scratch this DEI. They're gonna get to a point where they're gonna scratch it, or they're gonna end up like Kmart, gone, Sears, gone.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely been effective. I mentioned Target being impacted the most, but let me tell you some numbers on the other companies that were impacted by this economic buyout. Walmart app users were down 2.5% to 13.6 million, compared to 13.9 million the previous week prior to the boycott. Amazon's web traffic was down 4.6%, which is like 65.9 million in revenue versus the prior week, prior to the prior week that the boycott was started. And Costco also has seen a cut in its revenue, and it went from 8.3. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Costco received an increase of 8.3 because they actually stood by their DEI initiatives.
Yeah, they stayed with that.
So Costco is the only one that really hasn't been impacted by this. I'm not a Costco shopper yet. I mean, I hear they're just as I know Sam's was on the list.
Yeah.
So people, I think they were saying to shop at Costco versus Sam's.
Yeah, Costco's. Yeah, I think Costco's.
Because Sam's and Walmart is the same place, same people, same family.
Yeah,
same family. Yeah.
Yep.
Sam Walmart is actually the guy's name.
Now, we don't have a lot of Costco's here in Houston, to my knowledge, but we do have a few. So that kind of makes it hard, for for us to support this boycott if you're a frequent visitor or frequent shopper at Sam's or Walmart. Now, during the boycott, I will admit I did shop at Walmart a couple of times. I recently moved to an area that we don't have a lot of retail stores, so I unfortunately did do some shopping, because I still got to live.
Well, don't feel bad, because I actually didn't know we were boycotting Target and a couple of other stores. I didn't know we were boycotting Walmart, actually.
Yes, a lot of people don't know because they be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of done on a hush-hush, but social media, is like our new modern-day news outlet. You can find out a lot of things that's going on socially throughout social media. And this is where I first heard about the boycotts. And, of course, I passed the message along, and I wanted to support it as best I could. Like I said, I didn't go to Target. I did stop shopping at Amazon temporarily until the boycott was over, because I am a fan of that. But yeah, man, the boycott has been. This just shows that we can be successful at doing something. And if this was a peaceful type of boycott, I guess you could say. It was nothing negative heard other than, the companies that we were trying to affect. So I just tip my hat, to those that, supported this boycott, and hopefully moving forward, on the next boycotts that they designate to occur, that we follow suit and cause more damage like we did, this first go around. Okay, and like I was saying, fellas, Dollar General is the next targeted merchant that, Dr. Bryant is asking us to boycott. I'm not sure when this is scheduled, but, if you stay tuned on social media, I'm sure you'll be hearing about it, sooner than later.
Now, if it's one thing I know about Dollar General and they saying that they're gonna boycott them. Some of the products in not every product in Dollar General we want anyway. And as opposed to why people were going to Walmart is because of the types of products that people use daily were in there. I can go to a Family Dollar and see some of the same products that Dollar General have.
Now, Family Dollar has done a lot of shutdowns.
They
have a lot of shutdowns as well.
There's two by my house, man. They like maybe a mile a piece, and they shut both of them down.
Yeah,
and then there was a Dollar General right in there, and they shut that down. So what that did was force us. Now, either you're going to go down to this Family Dollar, that Family Dollar, or you're going to go to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And just to be totally honest with you, Walmart has some of the best products that people are used to. If you about the types of brands, Walmart's gonna have it.
Products and prices.
Well, Walmart is known for being, your one-stop shop.
Right.
So that's where they, a lot of people benefit from going to Walmart.
You can go and get your battery changed, your tire changed,
exactly,
oil changed, and everything at Walmart. See, and you know what? That boycott deal, man. I mean, damn, man. I don't know, because what is that gonna do for us if that boycott lasts and Walmart ends up going out of business? What are we gonna have then?
You think it could be a catch-22 and hurt us if Walmart does?
I think so.
I don't think Walmart would ever go out of business.
I don't think so.
The only retail market that I think can handle the amount of people that come to Walmart is Amazon.
Right.
That's it. That's what we're gonna be stuck with if Walmart intentionally closes because they cannot keep up with the revenue because they being boycotted.
Man, some of that stuff, it breaks down even bigger, man, to the product itself. Let me give you an example. So, let's say there's a store that's not down with that didn't roll back their DEI. But there's a product in the store that you like to drink. Case in point, Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. Now, the Pepsi company, they roll back their DEI. So do you continue to buy Pepsi soft drink? Because Coca-Cola, they're committed to DEI. So that stuff breaks down even more
on the merchandise.
On the merchandise itself. So you could be in a store, like let's say a store that didn't roll back DEI, and you are a Pepsi drinker.
Yeah.
But Pepsi, they roll back their DEI. Yeah. Do you no longer drink Pepsi?
That's crazy, man.
Because Coca-Cola, they
still doing it. And that's crazy because, man, even over with the tariff situation and the countries, other countries outside of America, they are wanting to not deal with the people if they hadn't changed their DEI over there.
Let me show you something else. This ain't got nothing to do with a product in the store, but we use our phones every day.
Right.
Google.
Yep.
Google dropped their DEI.
Sure did.
Now, do you go to Safari?
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
You go to Google.
Or do you continue?
You still gonna go to Google?
Google. Yeah.
So how committed are you?
That's a good question.
To boycotting and doing these things.
A lot of it is a catch-22, man, because you're gonna use Google. I don't care what. If you got a phone, you're gonna use Google.
And then let me show you something else. You got kids. Let's say those of you got young kids. Love Goofy. Well, Disney.
Roll back they did.
Roll back. Now check this out. For sports, people who like sports, Walt Disney on ESPN. Are you gonna not listen to ESPN?
You made a good point, Freddie G.
So you got to think about it.
How, like you say, how
committed are you?
How committed are you?
I'm not that committed, bro. Because I can tell you, if it's a product that I like, and I don't know if all the products that I like, I don't know none of them that may have rolled back on their DNI. I don't know.
Check this out. What about people who are afraid to fly? Right?
Yeah.
People who are afraid to fly. There's other options.
Train.
Yeah. Bus. Well, Amtrak.
Yeah.
Roll back theirs. Do you not ride Amtrak now?
Dog. Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Crazy, man.
And you said something earlier. I'm gonna tell you, taking Walmart away from me is like taking IG from a kid, because
Walmart is that go-to place.
It is.
When you in another city, you're gonna find a Walmart because you know what you need is gonna be there.
Everything you need is in there.
And see, that's where it's hard, because I can't. And at this
hard.
point, bro, I'm gonna go to Walmart, so I don't know if
I don't know what to do. Yeah. And then one more thing you said you don't see them going out of business. Well, I beg to differ, because Woolworth used to be Walmart. TG&Y used to be Kmart.
Yeah, but if they weren't as big as
Kmart,
I think Walmart has gotten.
Kmart was huge.
Kmart was
huge.
The first for us.
Yes. So
but Walmart went above and beyond.
Walmart is what put those retailers out of business.
Right. Exactly.
Walmart went above and beyond.
All it takes is another cheaper with a nice name and a nice commercial to take over.
So if these numbers,
no, you need a card to get into Costco.
You're right.
But I'm talking about a regular store. Yeah. And they sell electronics and food for a cheaper price than Walmart.
Somebody's gonna come up with it.
Check this out. Here goes something to think about.
Yeah.
McDonald's, right? It's a food chain, right? Mm-hmm. You know, me and you we can own the McDonald's.
Yeah.
So, but under that brand, we gotta follow their rules.
Yeah.
No DEI.
Right? So what if we black folks? We black.
It's almost gonna be hard for us to buy a McDonald's.
So
I changed the name to McDowell.
What about the people the black folks who already own McDonald's?
Yeah, and I know a guy that owns.
Now, what do you do as a black man or a black woman that own McDonald's and you're forced to roll back your DEI?
Yeah, sell.
Wow.
How committed to you or how
committed to DEI?
Yeah. How committed to DEI?
I know a guy that owns like two of them. He owns that one. The first one is one in Missouri City, and that one by U of H. The one in U of H.
Oh yeah.
Right before.
Oh yeah. I know. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, black guy named Larry.
Yeah.
I know that he had something to do with one in Missouri City. I was going to a church, and he was like the pastor partner, and I was wondering, trying to figure out what he did, and he said, "Man, I got two McDonald's," and he told me which one. Actually, I saw him in one at the one by U of H. I saw him come in there.
Yeah.
But again, Freddie G, I don't know what he would do because it's a black man, and like you say,
shout out
what do you do?
Shout out to that McDonald's.
Question.
And all you Ford pickup drivers,
you
too. Yeah.
Ford and roll ass back.
I drive a Ford. Well, not a Ford, but it's part of Ford Motors.
So back to Walmart going out of business. So if the numbers keep dropping the way they're dropping, you guys actually think that Walmart could actually go out of business?
They can close stores, but
I think that'll be the first.
Right.
Close stores.
Layoffs and closing stores.
They'll close the neighborhood ones.
Well,
where they only serve food.
They're gonna close the ones in the black neighborhood.
Yeah, they'll close the neighborhood Walmarts where they only serve the food, and then if it gets worse, then they'll hit the ones that sell everything, the family store.
Well, a temporary solution to this boycott is actually my black fact you can't take back. The brainchild of Lamine Loca, Maria, Miiriya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this is a platform connected to black-owned businesses with consumers. It's kind of like a Amazon for black businesses. And this is an online marketplace designed to support black-owned businesses, and it allows users to shop from various vendors, all whom are all small business-owned black entrepreneurs. You can access this through Apple Store, your Google Play, and the platform aims to create convenience for shoppers while promoting the recirculation of the black dollar within the community. So my shout out, my black fact is this app. Whoever created Maria app, and shout out to them for keeping the black dollar in mind when still trying to make a point while these other big corporations are affecting us with their DEI policies. Y'all come back and join us next week, man. Peace out. This concludes another Black Friday episode. And be sure you tune in next week for another dope episode of Music Monday with Slash. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast.